Hello and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I thought I would give you a little update on how my gluten-free challenge has been going. It's been 3 months now. I've got a little filming companion here today. Here he is. So if you hear some weird sounds in the background, it's him. It's been an interesting experience. I would say that I learned more about myself than I've ever learned during these 3 months. I have had periods where I felt the best I've ever felt, and I used to have these incredible days, maybe for 1 day or 2 days, when I would feel phenomenal, but I never had them for a week or 10 days. And during these 3 months of being gluten-free, I regularly have them, and that's fantastic. I get so much done. I literally moved mountains. I cleaned everything, every single spot in my house. I did all of the jobs that I've been procrastinating for years, and everything is done, everything is spotless, and I've pretty much stopped feeling overwhelmed in my life about everything, which is so nice. I tried going dairy free because for somebody with celiac disease or gluten intolerance, it's always a good idea to try to stop eating dairy as well, because a lot of people with gluten intolerance also have issues with casein and dairy. I felt incredible for like a week after going dairy free, and I thought, yay, I found the missing piece. I'm going to feel amazing from now on. And then I started feeling really shit again, but this time there had been no dairy in my diet, so I couldn't blame it anymore. And basically what happened is that I got glutened, which is so easy to get glutened when you are gluten-free if you're really sensitive to it. So I got glutened and my body kept going through the symptoms, and what I didn't realize is that symptoms don't just last for a day or two, they last for a week, up to 10 days, and they kind of change. Every day or two they change, they morph into different symptoms. So when I thought I was having problems with dairy, it was actually just the residual symptoms from being glutened. And it doesn't just have to be proper gluten exposure like eating bread or something. I haven't done that for 3 months, but just cross-contamination, traces of gluten now are enough to set my body off and to get my immune system crazy. It can be the most innocent things, like for example, that time when I thought that it was because of dairy, but it wasn't, is because I ate some dried figs, and here in Spain they come covered in flour. The ones I bought were covered in rice flour, not wheat flour, but the thing is, of course, they were cross-contaminated. They didn't say anything about being gluten-free. And wheat-free, rice flour, they are all processed on the same machinery. So basically it had traces of gluten, and I reacted really badly to them. During the first year or so, I think most people on the gluten-free diet get glutened regularly simply because it's just impossible not to get gluten while you're still learning how to live this way. Another thing I discovered is that in addition to me reacting to gluten, I was also aggravating my vata really badly. So if you know anything about Ayurveda, there are basically 3 different constitutions: vata, pitta, and kapha. I am predominantly a vata with a bit of pitta, and weather that's getting colder, being really windy, and eating a lot of cold foods, a lot of salads, a lot of dry foods, definitely was affecting my vata a lot. So I started really focusing on pacifying my vata at the same time, because it's really good for healing your gut, for making the digestion easier, for helping your body preserve that energy that it needs. And it has been doing wonders for me. Ayurveda always saves my bum every single time, and it did this time as well. So I focus on eating mostly cooked foods, warm foods, really mushy, soft foods. So a lot of stews and soups, porridge in the morning as always, but now I add some ghee and some coconut sugar as well. I really started focusing on the sweet taste, because it's the most important taste for somebody who's both a vata and pitta. So I'm not shying away from coconut sugar. I literally put in everything. I put in yogurt, I put it in my porridge, I put it even in my sauces or salads. And that bit of sweetness really balances me so well. I've really cut down on salads as well, because now that it's winter, even though winter in the Canary Islands is not exactly winter, but still, my body just doesn't want raw foods at the moment. It's just not digesting well enough for now, while I'm still healing after gluten intolerance or celiac disease or whatever it is that I have. Now I'm feeling great again, and I'm eating dairy. So it's so good to know that dairy is not a culprit for me. First I went back to eating just sheep and goat dairy, then I reintroduced cow dairy as well, so now I eat everything at all and I feel great. The only thing is I'm being mindful of my vata once again, and I avoid cold dairy, so I don't eat any more cold yogurt. If I eat yogurt, I dilute it with water, and I always add sugar to balance that coldness of yogurt. I drink warm milk, warm goat milk before bed with some honey, and I eat maybe mozzarella or parmesan in some dishes warm. I'm not tempted to eat gluten at all, which I find really interesting because whenever I tried being gluten-free in the past, it was always impossible. Now I haven't had it for 3 months, apart from accidental glutening without my knowledge. And I think the thing is that I feel so good now. My body is so happy that I just can't even think of jeopardizing it and going back to eating gluten. So as long as I can feel as good as I do now, I think it's a small price to pay. One thing that really blew my mind is that my hair loss completely stopped being gluten-free. And not just the hair loss, but also all the itchiness on my scalp, all the soreness, all the bumps and breakouts on my scalp that I've had forever, all the flakes. Everything completely disappeared, not only because I stopped eating gluten, but also because I got rid of all the Ayurveda Be Curly products, which all contain gluten. Now my scalp is so comfortable, it feels amazing. I have so much new hair growth, and my hair loss is literally like at the end of my pregnancy when it was non-existent, so it's really amazing. It's already feeling so much softer. It looks a little bit messy now because I had literally the worst haircut of my life, so I'm not happy with the way it looks, but in terms of the texture, in terms of the way it feels, it's amazing. Once the hair grows out and I have a better haircut, hopefully done by my husband this time, I think it will look amazing. My digestion is so much better now, apart from the week when I get glutened. I've got no more weird stomach aches, no more weird sounds coming from my belly, no more bloating, everything digests. I can even eat sour foods now with no upset stomach and no issues at all, and that's amazing. I've been loving my sour foods also because sour taste is really balancing for Vata. I don't feel sleepy in the afternoons anymore. Before I used to eat lunch and I just wanted to collapse and sleep for an hour, so otherwise I couldn't function. Now I eat, and eating, instead of making me tired, now it actually energizes me. My teeth feel so good, and the gums as well. When I do get gluten for a week or so, my gums feel really inflamed and swollen and painful, and my teeth feel really sensitive as well. But when I'm fine, when I'm not gluten, they just feel phenomenal. Also have no more joint pains and muscle pains. Apart from that week when I'm glutened, joint pain and muscle pain is one of the main symptoms for me when I'm glutened. One thing that I get if I get gluten now, and I've always got it but never realized because I had it pretty much all the time, is something called gluten ataxia. It's a kind of neurological damage done by gluten, and I can't stand straight, I can't walk straight. I literally feel the pulling to one side, and that lasts for maybe a couple of days after being gluten, which is so weird, and that doesn't happen anymore, and that's so nice. My balance is so much better. Can't recognize myself. I'm like a different person. I just get things done. I'm always full of energy, steady energy throughout the day. I sometimes got bursts of energy, but it never lasted for the whole day or for the whole week or for the whole 10 days. That's incredible. And I can see that as the time goes on, those periods are longer and longer, and they're more and more frequent. And so hopefully those bad days of glutening will disappear, and I will feel amazing all the time. I'm just so much happier and more relaxed, and I laugh more, and I don't have these obsessive negative thoughts anymore. I don't feel as depressed at times. It's like I'm living a different life, a new life, and I'm really looking forward to see where it will take me now. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you are yourself considering to go gluten-free, or you have gone gluten-free recently, I'd love to know your experience, your relationship with gluten, how you feel when you get gluten. It's really interesting because everybody reacts in a different way. Everybody's symptoms different. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.